Next is, what is the sensation when you feel that you or the environment around you is moving or spinning when both are actually stationary? So basically, when you're actually not moving, but you feel as if an environment around you is moving or spinning. So what is that sensation known as? It is known as vertigo. Vertigo is a sensation when you're actually standing stationary, but you feel everything is surrounding you is moving. What is the range of human sensitivity to pure tones? This is something you are supposed to know since your school. So very basic, supposed to know the range in hertz. Okay, so the range is supposed to be from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Okay, again, assertion, reason, and question. Arousal refers to the level of activation. Reason says deep sleep and mania are on the extreme ends of the continuous of arousal. So they're actually saying that deep sleep and mania, they both are on the extreme spectrum of the continuous arousal, which is not correct. Yes, arousal refers to the level of activation, but deep sleep and mania are very different things. Deep sleep is when your brain activity is the lowest, slowest, okay? And mania is when you're completely highly aroused, you're awake. They are not the extreme ends of the same spectrum, which is false. There are different types of long-term memory. Statement 2 states that sensory memory and working memory are two types of long-term memory. Yes, there are a lot of types of long-term memory. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 says, you know what are the types of long-term memory, right? Is working memory is also a type of long-term memory, and sensory memory is also a type of long-term memory? No. Sensory memory is where the memory first enters, and then it enters the short-term memory, and then in the end it enters the long-term memory after filtering. Sensory memory is another type of memory. It doesn't come under long-term memory. And working memory is also different. It's not long-term memory. Working memory is not something where you store information. Information is continuously getting processed over there. So statement 2 is incorrect. Statement 1 is correct. Now you have to match the concept with the psychologists. Supposed to know who gave the levels of processing and three-system approach to memory. Okay, you try it on your own and then we'll solve it together. So Atkinson and Schifrin, they gave the three-system approach to memory, right? And who gave the levels of processing? Levels of processing was given by Craig and Lockhart. And the nonsense syllables were given by Herb and Ebbinghaus. And George Sperling gave the existence of sensory memory. Which part of the central nervous system controls endocrine functions by regulating pituitary gland? So what hormones and which part of the brain is involved with the regulation of hormones and secretions from the pituitary gland? Very simple, easy. I have taught you this before. Supposed to remember this. It's hypothalamus. Hypothalamus helps in regulating the endocrine functions of pituitary gland. Deficiency of emotional responsiveness is known as, okay, this is a new term. I'll just tell the answer. It's alexithymia. Alexithymia is the deficiency when a person is not able to emotionally respond. They're not emotionally able to respond or feel any emotion the way they're supposed to. It is known as alexithymia. A person who is striving for excellence and mastery in task is high on which of the needs? Very easy. It also comes under self-determination theory. It's the need for achievement. Person is striving for excellence. Automatically, you're supposed to understand they're talking about achievement. You want to achieve something, excel in something. Schedule for reinforcement in every correct response is reinforced, is called. I have explained you all the schedules of reinforcement. The one in which they reinforce every correct response. What do you call it? You call it continuous reinforcement schedule. because it's continuously happening. Every correct response, they'll get a reinforcement, right? Which among the following is not part of Wechsler's adult intelligence scale? I'm supposed to know what one option is looking very, very out of the picture. Verbal comprehension is present. Yes. Processing speed index is also present. Episodic memory index, is this present in Wechsler's intelligence scale? We are testing somebody's intelligence. You will focus on their speed, on their working memory, on their verbal comprehension. You're not testing somebody's memory. So episodic memory index is not the part of Wechsler's adult intelligence scale. Assertion says culture fair intelligence test is a speed cum power test. The reason says that there is a time limit for each of the subtests, including in the culture fair intelligence test. First of all, culture fair intelligence test, is it a speed and power test? Is it or not? And then we'll proceed to the subtest and the time limit. See, when it comes to culture fair intelligence test, it says culture fair. So it's focusing more on being culture fair and less on the speed or on the power, right? And yes, there is a time limit to each subtest included in the test, but still it's not a speed and power test. Speed and power test is separate, culture fair tests are separate.